Hey everyone, so right now I'm currently at the bin site with Dad and Tyler here. Since we really planted anything, it's been about a week, and everything up at the home farm is all planted, but we're 30 miles south at the bin site. Everything's still pretty wet, and that's usually how it goes every year. We kind of have to wait a week and a half, almost 2 weeks every year to start planting down here. For whatever reason, that 30 miles makes a difference. And even when it's not raining out, the days are pretty cool and overcast, and nothing's really drying out to where we can go to work. So everything just needs a couple days, but the sun really needs to come out. So that being said, we're here at the bin site. If you're new to the channel, we bought this farm probably 5-6 years ago, and behind the barnyard here was just an entire scrap yard, and we got most of it cleaned up, but right here behind the barn is not tiled yet, and right here to the right of me, that's all tiled. So we're gonna clean this up a little bit better, and we're gonna see if we can get a couple tile runs right behind the barn here. I can even show you. All of this is tiled, and then when you start seeing ruts, that is not tiled. This all used to be just one big scrap yard, and we got it kind of pushed back up here in this corner. So we got the dump truck here. We're gonna start picking up some of these little pieces and keep cleaning it up. Lots of little stuff that we probably need a magnet or something for, but we're gonna get some of the bigger pieces at least today. Got the old flail mower out here. We retired this probably 4 years ago, somewhere around there. Looks like there's an old stove, some old roofing from one of the sheds that used to be up front that was pretty much falling down by the time we got to it. Looks like there's even a engine block over there. That's probably worth something in weight. We're definitely gonna have to come back for some of the smaller stuff. We did get quite a bit of it, but I don't know if they had a burn pile here once upon a time, or they just kept throwing buckets and buckets of old bolts, washers, nails. So we're gonna have to get a magnet, try to pick up some of this a little bit better before we start driving on it. But got another bucket full, at least. As you can see from a different angle, we can eventually farm this whole little corner. No, it's not much, but it needs to be cleaned up either way. And once it's cleaned up, we'll just farm right up to the trees there. Picking up the big stuff isn't that big of a deal, and we're gonna bring the excavator out for some of these bigger pieces that the DX can't lift, but it's all the little stuff like the nails and bolts. I picked up a rim over here. It was just right full of grass and nails all binded together, so I was just sitting there trying to shake it loose and get the dirt out, but the nails in the loader bucket. But yeah, I'm not sure what they were thinking when they started throwing nails and bolts and everything out here. loaded up now with the first load. I'm gonna go haul this to the scrap yard, probably 15 minutes or so away. I think we're probably gonna try to put that tile in next. I'm gonna pull on the scale, get weighed in, and then I'm gonna see where they want me. Just under 3,700 pounds on that one. I'm sure the flail mower helped a bunch. This is the first planter I've seen out today. Might get ours out yet today. Definitely not going to be planting any soybeans today, but right at the bin site there, we're going to be no-tilling some corn in, and we almost did that farm a couple days ago, right before we got some rains. Just ran out of time and got rained out. So the seed tender's sitting there, the 8130, and the corn planter's sitting there ready to go. I believe there is a couple wet spots in a couple corners that's kind of holding us up. But at 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe we'll just say the heck with it and plant that farm yet today. We'll see. The air seeder is still up at the home farm, sitting in the shop. We figured there's no sense of moving it until it's ready to be used. It's half full of seed, and yeah, just keep it indoors until we actually are ready to use it. The next farm that the air seeder needs to go to is chisel plowed. The Challenger and the disc, I moved to that field a couple days ago, and I did the headlands for it to be spread with fertilizer so the tractor can turn around a little bit smoother, and that's all that's been done to it so far. So it still needs to be disked yet, and we still need to spread fertilizer on that farm yet for the soybeans. If we get enough time today, I'm probably going to head over there and actually spread that farm yet today, but I don't think I'm going to try to work it in just yet. I just parked by the scrap pile here, and sounds like Dad's already in the 8100 spreading fertilizer across the valley. Gets that finished being spread, he can start planting corn here. There's a nice crust on top to where if he no-tills it, it's going to be fine, except for a couple wet corners, I think. If we were to cultivate this or something and till it up, I think we would be pulling up and making up mud balls the size of this apple here. But no tilling, I think he can go today probably. So can't really tell, but there's a trail down there. A little change of plans here. Dad and Tyler are gonna stay behind and put those couple towel runs in behind the barn. They're getting set up to do that. Got the 40-30 there. I'm gonna jump in the 81, see if I can get some actual farming done. I'm gonna go to the farm that needs to be planted into soybeans next, where the Challenger's sitting. It's probably a good 6 miles away from the bin site here. Probably about a 20-minute tractor ride. I'm gonna go try to get that spread. I gotta go meet the truck there and get loaded. They're gonna bring fertilizer to me. So that's gonna suck up a big chunk of my day, just doing that. and it's going to be a rough ride because it's chisel plowed ground. Pulling in the driveway here, and that timed out pretty perfect. The fertilizer truck is right behind me. He's about to pull in. Got the potash loaded up here. I'm gonna make sure my GPS is working, and I'm gonna do a full loop around the outside edge first, and then I'll start filling in. One rock. I stepped out for a minute. I'm currently waiting for another load of fertilizer to get here. So I'm emptying the 81, and I moved the Challenger and the Sunflower, and I set it down in the ground just to kind of test it. Because on top, it looks bone dry, ready to work up. But when you kick your boot in here, and where I just tested it out, it's pulling up some pretty good wet mud balls, and still pretty cold yet, so it needs more time. They are calling for rain tonight or tomorrow, I believe. I'm not exactly sure how much we're supposed to get. Hopefully it misses us or doesn't amount to much of anything. But yeah, walking here, it looks bone dry, ready to go, but you start kicking your boot in, it's pretty wet yet.